Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 425 based on novel. So let's start. The Cloud Escape clan didn't leave the planet. They wouldn't dare to leave until Wang Lin allowed them to. After Wang Lin returned, he created a large cave and went into closed-door cultivation. He set up restrictions so no one could take half a step within 50 kilometers of the cave. The Dark Scorpion clan had the highest status, so they occupied the area closest to the cave. The Cloud Escape clan was helpless, so they could only temporarily settle down nearby. Zhong Big Red was extremely arrogant. He moved between the two clans as he wished. The joy of being the focus of everyone's attention was something he couldn't get in the Scatter Thunder clan. Inside the cave, Wang Lin sat there and pondered. Earlier, before the messenger left, the messenger had told him that a very important event would occur in 3 months. On that day, the fallen elders would be restructured. Some might keep their status and some might be replaced by others. However, Wang Lin didn't care about this. What he cared about was how he could accomplish his goal with the Fire Sparrow clan through this fallen elder election. The bait has been set. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and then he closed them as his divine sense spread out. His divine sense gradually merged with the world, becoming part of it. After a long time, Wang Lin slowly noticed that a familiar feeling in the distance was moving farther and farther away. In the dark space outside the fallen land, 3 Fire Sparrow clan members were flying far away. One of them was a middle-aged man with a solemn expression. He touched the mark between his eyebrows and his eyes revealed a strange light. Elder asked me to send the blood extracted from the pill back. This matter is of great importance to our clan, so we can't make any mistakes. If the Elder's analysis is true, then after the Patriarch and Elders see this, they will definitely have more orders. The man's eyes were filled with determination. He and the 2 people beside him flew even faster and disappeared into the distance. Wang Lin opened his eyes and his divine withdrew. A sneer appeared on his face. That blood contained a high temperature and a hint of fire essence. Aside from his own blood, nothing else could replace it. Therefore, he could use his connection to his own blood to find its rough location, even when it was far away. Once that sliver of essence is sent back to the Fire Sparrow clan, it will definitely set off a huge wave. Then my plan to obtain their fire essence should succeed. Since the blood has already been sent away, I need to prepare the second step. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and revealed a hint of gloominess. He waved his right hand and a spatial rift appeared. The moment the rift opened, a mournful cry came from within. This cry was filled with sorrow and could make the hearts of people tremble. Grandpa Shu, Little Biao knows he was wrong. Grandpa Shu, please let Little Biao go. I'll never dare to deceive you again. Another scream echoed, and Shuligua's laughter was mixed with it. To land in your Grandpa Shu's hands was your fortune. Your Grandpa Shu has been lonely for thousands of years. I'll never kill you. Little precious Jean Biao, you can rest assured, Grandpa Shu won't make it too painful. The miserable screams echoed and sounded really tragic. Wang Lin frowned and let out a dry cough. As his cough echoed into the storage space, the screams suddenly stopped. Shortly after, Shuligua's excited voice echoed and he quickly flew out from the storage space. Shuligua was holding a person. His clothes were in tatters, looking as if he was just attacked, and he looked extremely haggard. His eyes were filled with horror as Shuligua held him and appeared before Wang Lin. Master, what do you need help with? This little one assures I'll do it well, and it won't be like back in the Scatter Thunder clan. Shuligua threw Liu Jinbiao to the side and rubbed his hands together. Wang Lin didn't look at Shuligua but looked at Liu Jinbiao, who began to tremble. His heart was filled with indescribable fear. After being thrown into the storage space, he had been tormented by Shuligua. He was devastated and miserable, and every time he thought about Shuligua, it was like a nightmare. Wang Lin slowly said, Liu Jinbiao, do you admit your wrongdoing? When these words landed in Liu Jinbiao's ears, his body trembled violently, then he knelt on the ground and cried, Celestial. This little one knows he was wrong and asks Celestial to give this little one a chance. This little one will never deceive again. Wang Lin's right index finger gently touched his knee and a strange light appeared in his eyes. He looked at Liu Jinbiao and said, "Tell me, how is your deception without the jade?" Liu Jinbiao wiped away the tears off his face and was filled with repentance. He quickly said, "Celestial, what deception skill does this little one have? I completely relied on the jade, and now Celestial has taken the jade, so this little one can't deceive anyone anymore. I ask Celestial to give this little one freedom. This little one can't deceive anyone anymore." There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes and he nodded. "Since you can't deceive anyone anymore, you're worthless. Thus, there is no reason to keep you alive." Liu Jinbiao's face was filled with joy but then immediately froze. Once he realized Wang Lin's meaning, his expression changed. His body trembled when he saw the coldness in Wang Lin's eyes, and he quickly said, "Celestial misunderstands. Celestial misunderstands. What little one said was wrong. Even without the jade, this little one's deception skill is number one in the Cloud Sea, no one can compare. This little one never relied too much on the jade, I only used it when I had to. This little one has been practicing the art of deception since young and has always used any chance I had to practice. I'm a master of deception." "Oh? Then tell me, what is your understanding of deception?" Wang Lin's right index finger was still gently tapping his knee. Although his voice was calm, this action caused Liu Jinbiao's heart to beat at the rate of his tapping. Deception, in truth, is the truth to trick people. To use any means, especially credibility, misunderstanding, or even prejudice, to achieve a certain goal. When needed, this includes camouflage, even to the point where you believe it yourself. Only like this can you fool others. Liu Jinbiao was cautious as he looked at Wang Lin. After seeing Wang Lin nod, he relaxed a bit. "The art of deception I study is divided into 3 realms. The first realm is to deceive others. The second realm is to deceive yourself. The third realm is a certain enlightenment, like seeing a mountain as a mountain and seeing a mountain not as a mountain. Going back to the basics, it is similar to the first realm. These 3 realms sound simple, but in truth, most people linger in the first realm. They don't even believe their own words and are just deceiving to deceive, their skills are trivial." Liu Jinbiao relaxed, but he was still cautious. Only after reaching a certain understanding of deception can one reach the second realm, to deceive oneself. To use any method and life experience to deceive oneself until even you yourself believe the deception is real. Liu Jinbiao took a deep breath. He seemed to have forgotten his present situation and became serious. "There are others that have reached this realm. Whenever we meet, we always debate Tao and compare our understanding. However, most people I've met didn't dare to go too far into the second realm. After all, the second realm is extremely dangerous to us. The danger comes from ourselves. When we completely cheat ourselves, there is a chance we get lost and forget. We might become a gentleman, a villain, or even a madman. There were also some seniors who sank too far into the second realm and even forgot who they were. Whenever I think of them, I feel sadness in my heart. Lamentable, lamentable." Liu Jinbiao had forgotten this current situation, and there was a certain charm to his words. This caused Shuliguo's jaw to drop, and he mocked, "Aren't you just a scammer? You talk as if it's like cultivating." Shuliguo didn't finish speaking when Liu Jinbiao suddenly stood up and glared at him. His eyes were filled with pride and haughtiness, but there was also a hint of loneliness. This loneliness came from someone who stood at the top. How can an ignorant child understand this old man's heart? When this old man was 4 years old, I began cheating and was already a prodigy at the age of 9. I dared to deceive a foundation establishment cultivator as a mortal. After 16 years, I could read people's hearts at a glance. Since then, I've walked the heavens and earth, seeking the limit of the art of deception. The world is big, and rumor has it that there are 3,000 grand Daos. However, who can tell this old man what the 3,000 grand Daos are and that the Tao of deception isn't part of the 3,000 grand Daos? If what you all cultivate can be called Tao, then isn't what I cultivate considered Tao? How many creatures have been born throughout time, and how many creatures have perished? Ever since the birth of the universe and living things coming to be, deception has existed. If it is useless, then it would have long disappeared and not existed until today. This old man seeks to ask the heavens the rank of the Tao of deception among the 3,000 grand Taos. If there really is none, then this old man will make his own Tao outside of the 3,000 grand Taos. Shuligua was gobsmacked, even Wang Lin was startled. At this moment, Liu Jinbia was no longer desolate. He stood there, and although his clothes were still in tatters, an indescribable feeling shrouded him. This is the old man has reached the second realm of deception. Don't you all think this is easy? Deceiving yourself once is easy, but deceiving yourself for a lifetime is difficult. Deceiving yourself all the time would affect your origin soul, and even your memory would change. Even powerful cultivators that have reached the second step can't find real memories using soul search, because all the real memories have collapsed. The second realm is to deceive ourselves. At the peak, one either loses themselves and becomes someone else, or they can be reborn and remember themselves. Then they can break through the second realm and be able to turn back to themselves at any moment. Such a person is rare, and they would reach the third step of returning back to one's true form. If it wasn't for the fact that I relied on the jade so much that my Tao heart isn't strong, which made my Tao of deception stop, then not even Lord Celestial could catch me so easily. Now that you took my jade and destroyed what I relied on, it gave me a chance. In the storage space, my deception reached the peak of the second realm and I took half a step into the third realm. Liu Jinbia waved his sleeve and revealed a cold expression. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he slowly said, "That's kind of interesting." After Shuligua was yelled at by Liu Jinbia, he didn't yell back but pondered for a bit. His gaze toward Liu Jinbia changed before he clasped his hands and said, "Fellow cultivator Jinbia's words have widened my horizons. In the 3,000 grand Taos, there is the Tao of deception." Good, good, good. I want to know if the Tao I seek is also among the 3,000 grand Taos. Liu Jinbia's eyes were filled with joy, as if he had changed into a different person. The pride and indifference he previously had collapsed in an instant. His back was still hunched and there was still a hint of fear in his eyes. Just a little deception skill, nothing worthy of mentioning to Lord Shu. As long as Lord Shu doesn't bully this little one too much, this little one will be satisfied. His change was so sudden, it even startled Shuligua. He cursed in his heart and didn't know what to say. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light. He carefully looked at Liu Jinbia and slowly said, "I can give you a chance. If you do it well, I'll let you go and even give you a great fortune." Liu Jinbia's body trembled and he looked at Wang Lin. "You are often just deceiving one person or one sect, but now I want you to deceive an entire clan. Do you dare?" Wang Lin's voice was calm, but when Liu Jinbia heard this, his heart skipped a beat. Liu Jinbia hesitated and whispered, "This. In truth, it doesn't matter who I'm deceiving, but to set it up requires detailed preparations." "No problem, you have 3 months to prepare. You said that the second realm of deception is to deceive yourself so that even your memory changes. So I'll give you a set of memories." The blue fire in Wang Lin's left eye surged out and surrounded Liu Jinbia, forming a ball of fire. Shuligua immediately retreated and revealed a hint of terror. This fiend's cultivation level has increased again. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, 1 month went by. In this month, Shuligua wanted to leave the cave to enjoy himself, but just as he was about to leave, he would be stopped by the restrictions. After trying a few times, Shuligua continued to curse as he stared outside and began to daydream. On this day, Shuligua was still in a daze when he suddenly looked back. Deep within the cave, the fireball had been burning there for a month. Shortly after, a violent roar came from the fireball and the fire from the fireball formed a large vermilion bird, and it let out a cry. Then a figure slowly appeared from the fireball. At first the figure was blurry, but it became more clear as the person walked out. Shuligua's pupils shrank and he was startled. He vaguely felt like the person who walked out was familiar, and when he took a closer look, his eyes almost popped out. The figure walked out from the fireball and stood before Shuligua. His clothes were still in tatters, but it didn't weaken his sense of majesty at all. Liu Jinbiao looked exactly the same, but the feeling he gave Shuligua was like heaven and earth from before. The Liu Jinbiao now was like a master of a generation. As he stood there, an invisible pressure came from him. It was strong enough to shock anyone who saw him. A fire surrounded Liu Jinbiao and revealed the appearance of a vermilion bird. His gaze was indifferent and calm. He displayed his might without being angry, and when his gaze swept past Shuligua, it even caused Shuligua to suck in a breath of cold air. Liu Jinbiao's cultivation was erratic, sometimes it was extremely powerful and sometimes ordinary, but it was this change that made him mysterious. Although his gaze was indifferent, there was a sense of age deep within his eyes. This sense of age wasn't something an ordinary cultivator could have. It was a sense of exhaustion that only appeared after someone had lived for tens of thousands of years and had seen through life. This was an exhaustion of life, it was something that appeared after living for far too long. Shuligua was completely startled. He couldn't tell if this was the same Liu Jinbiao he had bullied in the storage space. Although the two looked the same, the feelings they gave off were like two completely different people. Just as Shuligua opened his mouth, Liu Jinbiao coldly looked at Shuligua. This glance caused Shuligua's scalp to go numb and he subconsciously took a few steps back. This old man is the 6th generation Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. I'm looking for the 4th generation Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. I was seriously injured by the sealed realm formation when leaving the inner realm. Liu Jinbiao said, giving off a sense of majesty as if he was above all. This aura could only appear when someone had been in a high position that controlled the life and death of tens of thousands of people for a long time. At this moment, he had long forgotten he was once a scammer. His memory had changed and he believed he really was the 6th generation Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. Even if a powerful cultivator searched his soul, they wouldn't find any flaws, all the memories they would obtain would be real. Liu Jinbiao coldly stepped forward. At this moment, Wang Lin's voice came out from the blue fireball in the cave. Shuligua, serve the 6th generation Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor and listen to all his orders. If you disobey him, I'll erase your existence. Shuligua's body trembled and he quickly nodded before following Liu Jinbiao. The restrictions on the cave were automatically opened, allowing the two to leave. Aside from Liu Jinbiao, no one knew what Wang Lin left on him in that month. After the two of them left, the fireball gradually disappeared and returned to Wang Lin's left eye. He still calmly sat there, and there was a flash of wisdom in his eyes. The second bait has been set. Fire Sparrow Clan, don't disappoint me. Wang Lin revealed a sneer and waved his hand, causing a rift to his storage space to appear. A statue flew out. It was the one he got from Greed. Greed has gifted me a lot of treasure. I need to imprint my divine sense on all of them and learn of their powers so I can display their full strength in battle. This statue is obviously his most powerful treasure, otherwise, he wouldn't have taken it out last. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Not everyone could reach the second realm of deception like Liu Jinbiao and change the memories in their mind. At least Greed couldn't. Wang Lin had searched Greed's memory and learned that what he had said was mostly true. He had also learned 2 key points from Greed's memory. The first key point was where the vortex had appeared in all heaven. The second point was where Greed had appeared after coming out from that ancient tomb. These 2 points should be useful to me. I should search that location in the ancient star system as I might find some gains. As for the tomb, it is very like the rumored ancient order tomb. Wang Lin's gaze swept past the statue as he pondered. Who the hell is this statue? Why would it appear in that tomb? Wang Lin pondered for a long time before he extended his divine sense toward the statue. However, just as his divine sense was going to touch the statue, his eyes lit up. Perhaps she will recognize it. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he waved his right hand, creating a second spatial rift. Wang Lin had opened this spatial rift just for one person. Silver moonlight came out from the rift and filled the cave. A beautiful woman slowly walked out from the rift. It was the woman in silver who had regained some of her memories. Wang Lin asked, "Do you know him?" The woman in silver put her hair behind her ear and looked at the statue after walking out. At this moment, her pupils shrank and she was stunned for a moment before she began to scream. Her scream was harsh and miserable, containing a great amount of fear. It was as if this man had done so much harm to her that even though her memories hadn't fully recovered, she couldn't help but let out such a miserable scream. The woman in silver's sudden change was not something Wang Lin had expected and something he had never seen before from her. He quickly stood up and put away the statue. The woman in silver had already retreated to the edge of the cave. Her body was filled with monstrous fear and her body trembled violently. Her face was pale, and at a glance she was like a lonely boat in a stormy sea, extremely pitiful. Wang Lin was about to move forward when the woman suddenly raised her head. The fear in her eyes was unimaginably strong as she snapped, "Don't come over." The voice was filled with loss and helplessness. There was also a distrust of all living things in the world. At this moment, she didn't even trust Wang Lin. Wang Lin silently stood there and felt remorse. He only wanted to find out the identity of the statue, but he didn't expect she would display such fear. Sounds of weeping came from the woman and 2 streams of tears flowed down her cheeks. The drops of tears made soft sounds as they fell on the floor. The tears shattered in the ground, forming a wet mark that gradually spread. "Don't come over. Don't come over. I didn't make a mistake. I didn't open the door. I didn't." The woman bit her lower lip, held her body against the wall, and slowly curled up. Tears flowed non-stop from her eyes as her shoulders trembled. Anyone who saw this would feel a sense of pity. Wang Lin silently pondered. After a long time, he whispered, "I'm sorry." The woman was still curled up and her weeping was still filled with intense fear. Wang Lin slowly moved forward and slowly arrived next to the woman. He gently knelt down and touched her hair. He softly said, "Don't be afraid, it is all in the past now. Don't think about it. Since you have forgotten, just forget about it." Listening to Wang Lin's soft, comforting words, the woman gradually calmed down. She was still shaking, and after a long time, she slowly raised her head. There was still deep fear in her eyes, and she had bit her lower lip so hard that it was bleeding. "I didn't open the door. It really wasn't me," the woman murmured as she looked at Wang Lin. Aside from fear, there was also confusion in her eyes. I know, Wang Lin whispered, but his eyes revealed a strange light. The woman apparently knew the person the statue represented and likely had come in contact with that person. Who the hell was this person? Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Wang Lin softly said, "I know it wasn't you who opened the door, don't think about it anymore." The woman didn't seem to hear Wang Lin's words. Her eyes alternated between confusion and fear as she continued to murmur, "All dead. All been killed? Peach Cloud is dead. Purple Fall is also dead. All dead. He was certain we opened the door. All dead, I also died." Wang Lin silently pondered for a moment and then looked at the trembling woman. After pondering for a long time, he suddenly asked, "Who is he?" "He is," the woman in silver trembled and the fear in her eyes increased several-fold. At the same time, her expression began to distort as a sharp pain washed over her. Under this intense pain, the woman began to scream once more. It was as if she didn't want to remember, to think about anything related to that person. Under this intense pain, a green gas appeared on her face as if it was moving under face. A bizarre mark that covered her entire face appeared. The previously beautiful woman suddenly became like a demon. She suddenly raised her head. The fear and confusion in her eyes had dissipated. Instead, it was replaced with apathy and death. At this moment, a powerful force erupted from her body like a storm. Wang Lin's mind trembled and he immediately felt a powerful sense of danger. He retreated without hesitation. Just as he retreated, the woman raised her right hand and mercilessly pressed it toward Wang Lin. This palm didn't use any origin energy, but it caused the entire planet to tremble. The sky was originally bright and clear, but in an instant, it turned black as if dyed by ink. This darkness covered the sun and blocked out the sky. The entire planet was now dark. In this darkness, a rumble echoed. This wasn't thunder, but a sound much more powerful than thunder. A huge rift was opened up in the sky by this sound. This rift was different from normal spatial rifts, it was far deeper. The depth of this rift was something that couldn't be explained. It was as if this rift led to a mysterious and unfathomable space deep within the star system. The moment the rift appeared, green gas rushed out and charged at Wang Lin's cave. The restrictions weren't able to stop the green gas at all. It charged through and circled around the woman's right palm. Although this all sounds slow, it happened in an instant. The instant the woman raised her right hand, the green gas arrived. This is not spiritual energy, celestial spiritual energy, origin energy, ancient demon power, ancient devil power, or ancient god power. Wang Lin's pupils shrank as he rapidly retreated. The woman's right hand suddenly descended and the green gas suddenly gathered to form a green palm that chased after Wang Lin. In the blink of an eye, the palm closed in. Wang Lin's right hand formed a seal and the origin energy in his body surged to form a giant vortex that collided with the palm print. There was a thunderous bang and the vortex collapsed. The palm print wasn't damaged at all and had pierced through. Wang Lin was still retreating and used the collapse of the vortex to leave the cave. Thunder flashed in his right eye and shot out, forming a giant thunder tattoo. 9 accompanying types of thunder circled the thunder essence, causing the thunder tattoo to give off a heaven-shattering rumble. The accompanying thunders rotated and blocked the palm print. The resulting thunderous rumbles were several times more intense than before. The thunder tattoo was pushed back. As for the palm print, a large amount of the green gas dissipated before chasing after Wang Lin once more. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes and his right foot took a step back. He stopped and no longer retreated. His right hand reached at the void and a monstrous blood light flashed as the blood sword appeared in his hand. Holding the blood sword, the moment the palm print penetrated the thunder tattoo, he let out a cold snort and mercilessly chopped down. The blood light instantly shined brightly. It was like a sea of blood had descended on the palm print. The sword paused for a moment when it collided with the palm print before slicing it in half. The palm print suddenly collapsed, but the green gas didn't dissipate. It condensed into a ball and was able to return into the rift in the sky. Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes. There was a salty taste in his mouth as blood flowed out from his mouth and eyes, but he held them back. His expression became cold as he flew up holding the blood sword. As the green ball of gas flew toward the rift, Wang Lin mercilessly reached toward it. "Come down." The world trembled and a giant, illusory palm appeared and grabbed the ball of green gas. The moment the green gas was caught by Wang Lin, the rift in the sky immediately closed and disappeared. The darkness disappeared and light returned to the earth. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy as he appeared in the cave holding the ball of green gas. What he saw caused him to frown. The woman in silver had passed out and her face was ashen. Her body was unconsciously trembling and she was still muttering. "It wasn't me. It wasn't me who opened the door. It wasn't me." With a gloomy expression, Wang Lin arrived next to the woman. His left hand formed many restrictions that landed on the woman. After doing all of this, he was still frowning as he looked at the green gas in his right hand. This is another force outside of origin energy. This isn't the power of Joss flames or essence, but it's very similar to essence. What exactly is it? Does it have anything to do with that statue? This woman in silver has too many secrets. What exactly is her identity? One of the 8 ancient imperial concubines, Wang Lin couldn't figure it out. This woman said that Joss flame is poisonous. At first I thought she had cultivated Joss flames and ended up like this due to it. However, looking at it now, it doesn't seem that simple. Could it be that she knew Joss flame was poisonous before she cultivated it? There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes as he stared at the unconscious woman. After a long time, he raised his hand and pressed it down on her forehead. He used the soul search spell he still hadn't used on her. "There is no hatred between us and I don't intend to hurt you. However, you have too many secrets that are important to me. With my cultivation level, as long as I'm careful, I won't damage your mind while using soul search." Wang Lin's eyes closed as his divine sense entered the woman's forehead through his right hand. This video will end here.